All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 12-game slate here, joined as always with Chrissair DFS. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Excited for the slate here. We have a pretty big one, so I'm excited for it.
I think your Discord crop is a little bit off. Not sure why. You see it?
Yeah, you should probably fix that.
Fix that on. Oh my god, I might mess it up. You want me to try?
Yeah. Looks like you're showing something else.
Yeah. Is this the bottom crop or top crop? Let's see. You have to stall a bit, Chris, while I do this.
What chat? Let me open the chat. Let me see if anyone's in here. Let's take a look. Let me find the link. Here. Let's see, is Justin in here? Hopefully Justin's in here.
You think he's in here?
We do have Justin. We have Turn and Burn, as always. Crop top, whatever that means. I guess because you're cropping. Okay, we have King Carter in here. Nice. Brent and Garry.
Not only am I cropping, I'm doing some advanced resizing as well.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah. So, we'll get into the success here. We had Justin's big win last night, which is pretty awesome. It would have been even bigger if he had the logo, but unfortunately he didn't.
What logo are you talking about, Chris?
We'll see when we get there.
Okay.
And Austin's in here. What's up, Austin?
This is kind of...
Looks good now.
Gotta focus. Yeah, one sec. Gotta make it into a group. Add selected items to group. Call it Chris. Oh, name's already taken. This is live television. Oh, almost removed it. Almost done. You need to stall a bit more, Chris.
Well, it looks good to me. So, I don't have control of the screen, so I can't show the success. So there's not much I can stall with.
I think we're good now. That looks pretty good. I think. What do you think?
Yep.
I mean, you're a little wider than me today, but that's fine. Can fix it later. Not sure what happened. I think Discord updated or something. The sizing is a little different. Firefox also updated actually for me, so looks a little different. I had to switch it up before the show, but I think we're good. I think you mentioned something about Justin being in here. What's up, Justin? I think you also mentioned something about a big win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's get into that. Let's go chronologically like we always do. So first up, Snow. I am Snow here. Longtime cruncher, 55, 123. This is DK main slate here. Solid stuff. Did you go over the chat? It's kind of popping. There's a lot of stuff, Chris.
Yeah, I went over it a bit. Now we have more people. We have VN Jones in here. What does he say? Nobody on any channel has mentioned the narrative of the day. Beal's been scoring champ all season. Curry stole it in his last game. Beal versus Curry tonight. Yeah, that's definitely a good one. We kind of talked about that last time.
I brought that up.
Well, you didn't talk about them like playing each other, but last time you talked about them being right up there. I think they were both like 31.2 per game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a narrative that we have here today.
Yeah, also NBA news, Mike James, my boy Mike James, Chris. Always talk about him. Back in the NBA. Love to see it for Brooklyn. Sounds like Harden is not going to come back.
No, he'll be back.
He'll be back? Yeah, maybe. Let's keep going through. Did you go through all the chat? There's a lot of stuff here, Chris.
We have Rondo with the hashtag making it rain. That should be Justin's slogan there.
Did you read this? He says, easy on the logo today. Let's focus on the sweet hand builds by your guy here.
Oh, yeah. 150. He entered 150 by hand. I don't know if we'll see. I don't know.
It's all good. Well, I think he says he exports them to like CSV. He builds a bunch, then exports them, and then filters them some way. So something like that.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast.
He is a beast. Shout out to Justin. Let's see. We can dig into the roster construction. That was Cat moving away from Canner. Whiteside help. Fox tweaking ankle. Definitely didn't hurt me. And then he says, my nickname in chat is Rainmaker.
Yeah, that's why I said the making it rain slogan makes a lot of sense. So I like that.
Yeah. Let's move on here in order. Got Nick here. What did he do? 93, almost 200 there. NHL on DK. NBA, he did 120 to 164. This is single game. NBA, $3 to 24. That's pretty good results there. And we have Chris here, in-house expert, high stakes guy, DFS crunch expert. What did you do? 1337, Chris. It says leet upside down backwards, right? Into 2K, 201. 2,100. Nice. I like those numbers for some reason. So that's NBA main slate on DK, then the after hours or late night slate. 353, 627. Nice stuff out of you. Ghost here with the biscuits. 25, 53, and 5 to 10. 5 to 10 again. Solid stuff. Aiden, DK main slate 50 to almost 100. NHL 50 to 100 again. NBA single slate, late night slate, NHL, baseball single slate, baseball single slate. Playing a lot of slates like always. And then the big one here out of Justin. Do you know how close he was to first? I mean, this is huge, 15K. Probably a bit more, probably closer, if I had to guess, to, I don't know what, 16, 17K with all the other entries there. But I mean, that's awesome stuff. He was probably live in first throughout the night. Probably had like 6 figures winnings at some point throughout the night, so that's awesome. But yeah, I wonder how close he was to first. Maybe we can open up that contest, Chris.
0.5 points.
How much?
0.5.
Yeah, that's pretty tight.
That's why I was telling him he doesn't want to talk about it, but the logo would have gotten him there. I mean, Harkless, he definitely wouldn't have done all that crazy stuff if.
I mean, I'm with you, but
he had the logo.
Logo definitely helps, but maybe he's got his Awesemo superstitions. Alex Baker, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got like an Alex Baker poster in his wall instead of the Chrissair DFS poster. But it's all love. It's all good. A win is a win. Love to see it from any cruncher. Logo's nice, but any win from a cruncher is awesome. So that's what it's all about. Yeah, he says Harkless blow up was way up until the Harkless explosion.
Yeah, we got to take a look at it.
He says, open up the contest. Did you send? Is this it? No,
that's mine.
You didn't send it though, right? Do you want me to open it?
Yep.
So I have to go.
Yeah, Justin says, Awesemo ownership projections. I definitely like those, so I agree with you there. I used to use them all the time, so definitely no hate here, but yeah, let's see this. He had a really interesting build. He went with Cat instead of, well, I don't know how much Cat he had. I don't know if he locked him in or anything, but chalk was Cantor and Whiteside, and I mean they're very volatile. Cantor got benched. Whiteside only played I think 23 minutes. So they're very volatile, and then Cat was in the smash spot against Sacramento. So, it makes too much sense him doing what he did. Just that one sort of pivot got him there. As you can see, 0.5 points off.
It's one simple trick DFS experts hate you to know about.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see the problem here is there's 2 Awesemo logos here, so there's not room for both of them. One of them had to be the Crunch logo, Chris. But anyway, what was the difference here, Chris? I was opening it. Sorry, I might have zoned out if you already said it.
No, I was talking about the difference. I mean, the difference doesn't really matter. I was just saying the Cat thing was huge. He was only 8% here. So that was huge. And then, this guy had Harkless at 9.9% going for 35. What was Harkless's price? Like low 4K, high 3K? So 3.6, 100 over the minimum. But at the same time, Justin here had Blake, who went for 32. So big score there. Definitely was. I mean, I'm wondering if he was up there, like at first place at any point. Probably was before Harkless, because Harkless was obviously in the late game. So I assume Justin was first place for a while, if I had to guess.
Yeah, he says he was all the way up until the Harkless explosion. It looked like he had a few good entries there. Yeah, I can definitely see it. I wonder. Yeah, I think that's the big thing. He said it. But yeah, solid stuff. We need a 6-figure win out of a cruncher soon, Chris. Who's it gonna be first?
Well, I mean, a lot of the people don't really don't play 150. So I mean, it's not very likely here, because we only have a few people who actually play tournaments. Most people just play the optimal.
Cash.
Yeah, that's why I liked seeing Ghost his results yesterday. He was playing tournaments. I think he had like 50 entries or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we obviously don't have as many members as like Osimo, RG, or the other guys, but we also have some guys who are incognito, don't post on the success as well, so you never know. But yeah, I love to see people winning money here. That's awesome. It's what it's all about, right, Chris? Winning some money, helping people win money. I love to see that. You had your big win too recently, so this is pretty good. Been a pretty good week. Was a stretch of 4 days now for the Crunchers. I mean, it's always a good stretch for the Crunchers, isn't it? But in terms of tournaments, last 4 days has been pretty good. So we need to keep it going, Chris. Need to get the people some good content today, some good picks, all that sort of stuff. And I think the model thingy that I've been trying to show off is we can use it a bit later on in the show, because I think the projections are working better on the development server today. I think they're accurate, so maybe we can look at that as well. Let's see. Justin says he was ahead of that guy until the Harkless blow up. Yeah, I mean that's pretty tight. Oh, this one's 50K to first. Why isn't it not 100K? Smaller slate or what?
It's different every day.
Oh, that's rough. So I guess if this was like a bigger slate prize pool, second probably in those 100K ones. What's second usually, like 50K?
I don't know, but if it was bigger, then there's 30% more entries that could have been on top of him. So you can't really look at it that way.
I can, but I see what you're saying. But yeah, solid stuff. Shout out to Rainmaker, aka Justin. That's awesome. Got Pricky here. Trust the Opto. This is baseball. FanDuel 111 into 500. That's a big one too. How did this one? I didn't even see this one. Is this tournament, Chris?
Yeah, he probably had the $100. I don't know, because he had 111 in entry fees, 2 entries. So I don't know exactly what he played, but yeah, obviously some tournaments here.
$55.50 entry fee.
Maybe.
Yeah, this one I didn't even see Justin's results here. It was just too big. Cast a shadow on everyone else's results yesterday, Chris.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did click it. I just didn't see it was this big. That's awesome. Shout out to Pricky as well. Aiden, bunch of slates here. NHL.
Well, we got Paul George out today.
Oh, was that big?
That's huge.
That's good for your ESPN season long as well, I think, right?
That's good for my bets here, because I'm going to place some bets. Reggie Jackson's out. So Marcus Morris is the only guy I can place bets on right now. So I'm just going to do that. And if he's out, then I'll get a refund there. But if he's in, I mean, he should smash here.
Yeah. While you do that,
Rondo out as well. So we're going to have this slate just flipped on its head.
Chalky slate?
Who knows? I mean, who knows? Probably like Terrence Mann, guys like that. No Reggie Jackson, so usually we play him when these guys miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marcus Morris, that's interesting. We'll see if he plays.
We got some chat here, some other chat. Kind of missed it, I think. Let's see. You can dig into... Well, we did kind of go over the roster construction with Kat, right, Chris? like we kind of talk about that sometimes with FanDuel because you can only have one center. If you can get like a center that's not as chalky or fade from like a chalky center play, especially if the pricing difference between like the chalky centers and the center that you go for is different, it can change your build quite a bit. So that's something I like to do always in tournaments as well. So I like that move for sure. Is this hand build or not, Chris? Crunch, export, filter, sort, hand build, late swap. Hand build, late swap. That's hand build. That's like semi-automatic. What is that, Chris?
Is that like a gun?
I'm not sure, but it's like, what is that, hand build or is that part hand build? Austin is also talking about it. He says, agree to disagree.
No, I don't think that's hand build, but I mean, partly because he's sorting through his entries, or not his entries, his lineups. But yeah, I think when I think of hand build, I just think of you go to the website, you scroll through the player list, you pick your guys.
Yeah, kind of like a noosh.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
Yeah, but I'm kind of curious, Justin, like, is it just because you want to build more entries, or like why? How come you do that? Maybe there's like a feature or something we can change in our tool so that it makes it easier to do what you kind of want to do.
Yeah, we probably have to increase the cap because we had the cap before at 150 because we had the slower. I think it was slower and more expensive to crunch, but now it's faster. So we definitely have to increase the cap because a lot of people do that. You have to add some features to sort by ownership, sort by projection, all that stuff in the lineups tab, and then you can export directly from there.
Yeah, just the thing is though, like if someone just puts in like 1,000 every time though, and they're only using like 100, like it does cost a bit more though to do that as opposed to 150. That is one of the reasons why we have the cap, like just in terms of like costs. So, but I think we could definitely increase it if we.
No, it doesn't need to be 1,000. Just like 300 is good, double.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I'm just curious about the filtering and sorting. Like, I guess is it what you were talking about, Chris? Like the ownerships as well?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a big thing that a lot of tournament players do.
Like they just build a bunch and then they see the cumulative, like the sum ownership of each lineup and sort by that.
Yeah, and you could sort by a bunch of things. You can sort by like, I don't know, other sports. I think you can sort by more stuff, but yeah, you can sort by a bunch of things.
Like we have the projected ownership here, but I think, is this the average that we have? No, definitely not. Is it?
Yeah, it's the average.
Yeah, so things like that. I guess total ownership as well. I guess, yeah, if we could sort by those things, I think that would be pretty good. But yeah, definitely something we should add, I think, because honestly, like if I feel like if there's a use case for it, if people do that, like I'd rather have it. Like it just makes more sense to have it in the tool so people can save some time. Just make it a little bit easier for them instead of having to use like a spreadsheet on top of this, because this is supposed to kind of be like the one, I don't know what's it called, like the kind of like the toolkit for everything. Make it a bit easier.
Centralized.
Yeah. One-stop shop. That's the saying, Chris. One-stop shop. But yeah. Aiden here, I think we went over these. NHL, MLB out of him. Then we have you here, Chris. Baseball main slate doubled up there to 850. Ghost here with the Jesus. Let's give him some praying emoji. Do we have the Pepe pray? There we go. Yeah, this is Justin here the other day. Today, I guess. Wonder what he's spending it on, Chris. I wanted to ask you, actually. First thing to do when you win a big tournament or a big payout in DFS, do you buy a scooter or do you go all in the next day with your entry fees? Do you just put 100% of your bankroll in a GPP contest and pray? Go for the Hail Mary.
No, you just do what you do. I mean, you keep going. It's simple as that.
So you don't like the all-in strategy? Like maybe play the, I don't know, if there's like a $100, $150 entry max, not to do that?
I mean, if you want to, but it depends on your risk tolerance, I guess.
Yeah. What would you do? You would just continue playing more or less the same percentage of your bankroll pretty much?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought that was important to bring up because I don't know, it seems like a good thing to talk about sometimes. Risk management, bankroll management, all those things. I like to bring it up just to remind people that it is one of the more important. It's just as important as like all your construction, roster construction, all that stuff. It's all equally important in my eyes. So that's why I always try to bring it up. But yeah, we have turn and burn here. Last one of the day. Lots of NBA stuff doubled up there. So I think this is 100, 200, 250, doubled up that to 500. So shout out turn and burn as well, killing it as always. Where are we at, Chris? We got to go over your contest here.
Yeah, we got to go quick. We have like a 20-game slate here.
Yeah. So do you want to go over this then?
Yeah, so pretty much just a 2v2 we can go to the other side. It was 327 point something. Yeah, 327.9. So it was just this 2v2 here. Bledsoe and Cantor versus Brown and Whiteside. I knew Bledsoe would be low owned. I knew Brown and Whiteside would be low-ish owned. I knew Cantor was going to be the chalk at center. So I just decided to go with the Cantor side. I wanted the higher ownership with him because I knew that people would try to get to him after he had the 70-point game last time when Nurkic missed. So I wanted him. Then I took the little bit of the lower ownership with Bledsoe. Instead of going with two low-owned guys in Brown and Whiteside, it ended up costing me here, obviously. Bledsoe got benched. Cantor got benched as well. So, it kind of sucks when you're too low, or not too low owned guys, but your 2v2 gets benched. So that's kind of what happened here. Yeah, I think that's mostly it because that's what I was deciding between on FanDuel.
Okay, let's quickly go over DK here. How do you want to do it?
Yeah, so DK was obviously better. We saw my screenshot there. So yeah, this lineup did pretty well. Pretty chalky. This one actually landed on Bruce Brown, so he played very well, as we saw on FanDuel. He was my lone guy here, went for 35. Then everyone else was pretty much above 50%. Cole Anthony 40 with the fire icon, went for 40 points. So I don't know. I think this lineup was pretty obvious to me. I think a lot of people landed on this one. If you could just scroll down, let's see if anyone else landed on it. Yeah, so a few other people here landed on it.
Sharpest player in the game, Scotty.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I said, I like this lineup. I think this one was more obvious than the FanDuel one. The FanDuel one was pretty tough, honestly, with the decision at shooting guard. I guess if I had to redo FanDuel, I probably would have done CJ and Paul George together and maybe gotten off of Randall down to like Marcus Morris. I think that was something I was considering. But I probably should have done that with Dame out.
Yep. Okay. Get into the slate, Chris.
Yeah.
I'll say the other thing, because you guys said something about the Osmo ownership projections. We need that Osmo Crunch collaboration. Get their projections, ownership projections, directly in our tool. Maybe someday. That'd be nice, I think.
Oh, they're already with Fantasy Cruncher, so...
Yeah, we got to poach them. We need to get them here. But, yeah, so you said 20-game slate, Chris. It's more like a 12-game slate, but 24 teams to choose from, so a lot of stuff to go over. Just quickly, we need to get into it. What's your favorite news so far? We had that Clipper news just now.
Yeah, so I don't know. The slate's giant. There's a lot of news here. A lot of good games. Favorite game is probably the first one of the night with Golden State, Washington. Obviously, those are two teams we love to target. That's pretty much the biggest. We have the Nets again without Harden, without KD. So we have Kyrie, interest in him today. But yeah, this slate is giant.
And then just quickly, Chris, do you know if the development server, are the projections the same today? Looks like the ownerships are up. So maybe I just want to try using that today.
Yeah, it should be the same.
It does look.
I don't know.
Does look the same to me. So let's try using that. We can always go back to the other one. So let's just see that because it's supposed to process all of the data a lot faster. So we should get it.
Wait, you want to use it on the show?
Yeah.
No, let's not do that.
How come?
Let's just, because the other one is what the people have. We should just use that one.
Okay. Okay, let's go into the first game then. Golden State Warriors, Washington Wizards. Warriors side, Damian Lee, questionable. JTA out. Pascal out. Projected starters, Steph Curry, Bazemore, Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney. Who do you like here, Chris? We have the narrative Curry versus Beal for the scoring title. That narrative there. So that's a pretty good one. Head-to-head matchup today. First game of the slate. But yeah, what do you like here?
With this team, it's usually just one guy. It's Steph Curry. But in a matchup like this against the Wizards, this is where we can get more Warriors if we want them. I'll start with Steph Curry. I put him on the cover today, just playing out of his mind. They're implied to score 121 here. 48% usage rate last game, 43 the game before that. So it's just been insane. He's shooting pretty much every time he touches the ball. He's kind of like playing freely now. Before, obviously, he was playing with a bunch of stars, kind of looking to get the best shot possible in the possession. Now he realizes that his shot from anywhere is better than like a random Wiggins shot, a random, Bazemore shot, Oubre shot. So he's just shooting all the time. So I have a ton of interest in him. I love him in tournaments. Cash games, he's very interesting as well. Probably going to play someone like Westbrook over him if I had to pick between the two. But Curry's in a great spot here. I think on DraftKings you can actually play both of them. Curry's 10-2 on FanDuel, 10-5 on DK. Obviously, you get the 3-pointer bonus on DraftKings. So I love Curry there. I think he's way more in play on DraftKings with the way that scoring works, in my opinion. I like him a lot there. And then other guys here, I think we can play someone like Kevon Looney for value. He's 3.8K on DraftKings. FanDuel, I think he's a little bit more expensive, 4-1. Yeah, and he's center only. So I think on DraftKings, I think he's viable there just because the matchup here is really good. Draymond Green, same sort of thing. I think on FanDuel, his price tag stands out a little bit, 7.4K in this matchup against the Wizards. So I don't mind that. Probably more of a tournament thing, but I definitely don't mind it. Oubre and Wiggins, probably going to stay away from them here. Don't love the price tag on Wiggins. Oubre, he came off the bench last game. He only played 21 minutes, so can't play that if he's coming off the bench. Maybe if he's starting, he'll be more viable. But like I said, we have a 12-game slate, so probably don't need to play many of these other guys outside of Curry and maybe Green and Looney.
Got it. Wizards side, Rui Hachimura out there. Projected starters, Westy, Neto, Beal, Avdia, and Alex Len. Who do you like here, Chris, on the Wizards?
Yeah, so on the Wizards, it's always two guys that stand out for me. They're pretty much viable in any slate just because they almost always have the highest over-under in their game. Today is no different. It's at 241 right now. That's the highest on the slate. Second highest is the Sacramento game at 239. And then after that, there's a pretty big drop-off where the next highest is 230. So those two games are going to be the ones we want to target here today. With these guys, Russ Westbrook and Brad Beal, I definitely want to play them. If I can, I'll play both of them. If I can't, I'll try to prioritize Russ just because he does everything for this team. 10-8 on FanDuel for Russell Westbrook. DraftKings, he is 10.9K, so really good price tag for him on both sites. We've seen him at like 11 point. I think on FanDuel he was 11.5 last slate. DraftKings he was 11K. So he's kind of been priced up a little bit. Now he got a little bit of a bump down, so it's a great spot for Westbrook. I'm probably going to play him. Probably going to play both him and Curry on DraftKings, but I think on FanDuel that's where I kind of prefer Westbrook just because the price difference. I want to spend the extra $600 to get to Westbrook there. In cash games, and then Brad Beal, the other guy here, obviously he's always in play as well. He's 8.5K on FanDuel, 9.4 on DK. Problem with him is he's so scoring reliant, but at the same time he's going to get you 30 real life points every game, and then everything else is just extra. So pretty much has like a 30-point floor, and then he's going to likely get you one or two stocks, few rebounds, few assists. So I think he's way too cheap on FanDuel. DraftKings, where he's 9.4, I think that price tag we don't need to try to get to. But like I said, FanDuel, 8.5K. I think you got to play that in cash games. We've seen him earlier in the year. He was around like 9.5 to 10.5 for like the first half of the season. So this is definitely way too cheap in my opinion for for Bradley Beal in this matchup.
Got it. Let's move on. Lots of games here, Chris. OKC at Indiana next up. Thunder side, Muscala, Gabriel Deck, Josh Hall, Isaiah Roby are all out. Dort questionable, missed last game, I think with the hip injury or hip something. Not sure if that's rest or if he has an actual injury. Do you know, Chris?
Probably rest. I think it was a back-to-back.
Yeah. Why is he getting rest all of a sudden now? Wasn't he like... Is he just too good now? They got to rest him too?
Probably has a little bit of a hip injury as well.
Got it. Projected starters, Theo Maledon, Dort if he's in. Pokashevsky, Baisley, and Moses Brown. Anybody here, Chris, on this G League squad from Oklahoma?
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much said it. G League squad, we have a giant slate here. The last game I just talked about, much rather play some of those guys. So I'm not too interested in OKC here. Maybe Dort if you want to chase the game log. I think he scored like 21 points in the first quarter last game.
He was on fire.
Then he only scored 8 points the rest of the game. So, I mean, I don't really expect him to keep this scoring pace up. So that's why I don't love it. But the price tag is fine. He's 5.7 on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's 7K, so no way I can play that. But on FanDuel for 5.7, I don't mind that in tournaments. Probably can't do it in cash games, but that's probably the only guy here.
It'd be cool if we had the usage rate here, Chris, in the game log.
Yeah.
We should add that. I'm going to add a note for that. Because that'd be good to see, I think. Be easy to look at. But I was going to say, he was really aggressive in the first half. In the second, I don't think he was I didn't really notice him, but he looked really good in the first quarter, second quarter, quite aggressive. So if he stays aggressive, I feel like he can keep scoring because who else is going to do it on OKC? Like there's no one there right now, so lots of opportunity. Indiana side, Sabonis out. Got Jakar Sampson. He is suspended. What happened to him?
I don't know.
Okay. Jeremy Lamb questionable. Bididitz questionable. Dougie McBucket's questionable. And then a 3-year deal here for O'Shea Brissett. Projected starters, Malcolm Brogdon, Karis LeVert, Sumner, Brissett, and Bididitz. Who do you like here, Chris, on Indiana?
Yeah, so those two, Brissett and Bidatse, they're pretty important today. So you should probably pull up their basketball reference and learn how to pronounce their names. Just because I think Goga ends up playing here. Like you said, Turner's out, Sabonis is out. We've seen this situation where Goga smashes. Last game, he got the start in the same situation. He only played 22 minutes. He ended up getting hurt, so that's why he's questionable today. But he got 28 fantasy points. So this guy's just a beast, point per minute. In his other start this year, 25 minutes, 30 fantasy points. I think I was playing him like 2 years ago. He had like a stretch of 3 or 4 games when he was starting. He was getting like 40 fantasy points. So this guy's just a beast. He gets a ton of blocks. Not this guy, Goga, actually. Yeah, this guy right here. Goga Bitatse. So, yeah, so I love Goga here today. I think both sites he's pretty viable. DraftKings, he's a lot cheaper. He's 4.2K over there. On FanDuel, he's 5.4. You have Whiteside in the same range on FanDuel, so kind of a decision there. But yeah, probably prefer Bidatse if he plays, but I mean that one, it's kind of tough between him and Whiteside. They're both super high point per minute guys. Pretty much whoever gets the minutes is gonna get the higher score, and that's kind of hard to predict. If I had to say one guy, I would probably go with Goga. So I love him on both sides. And then O'Shea Brissett, you mentioned him as well. He got the start last game. We also have Jakar Sampson suspended this game, so I think it's a good spot for Brissett here. He's 3.8 on FanDuel, 3.1 on DK, so the DraftKings price is a lot better for me. But I do think he's pretty viable on FanDuel as well if you need a value guy at small forward. So yeah, it's probably those two guys for me. Don't really want to play the guards here in Brogdon and LeVert. They're pretty healthy at the guard. They're pretty banged up in the front court. Like I said, Sabonis, Turner, Jakar Sampson, they're all out today. So that's why we have interest in the front court here. But the back court is kind of healthy. Then They have a high implied team total at 120. So if you want to play someone like Levert or Brogdon, I think they're really good tournament plays. But you probably don't need it in cash games today.
Got it. So we got O'Shea Brissett, Chris, and then Goga Bitadze.
Bitatse.
Bitase. So how were you saying it wrong before as well?
Bitase.
Bitase.
Bitatse. I don't know.
Whatever. There we go. We'll get it. All the names are important. We always go over the names here. I like to put emphasis on that. You hated it at the start of the year. All these random players that I used to go over, but now you like it.
No, I mean
their time has come.
We got to get the name right. Like when you're saying the guy's name wrong 3 or 4 times, that's when we got to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Next up, Chicago, Cleveland. Chicago side, we have Zach LaVine out. Troy Brown Jr. doubtful. And then projected starters, Kobe White, Garrett Temple, Pat Williams, Daniel Tice, and Nikola Vucevic. Any interest here, Chris?
So I think we have Garrett Temple here on DraftKings. Let me see. So yeah, Temple here, 3.3K on DK. He's been back for I think 4 games now. He's been getting the start in his last 3. Obviously Zach LaVine is out, so Temple's been starting. We have Troy Brown doubtful as well, so he's a guy off the bench that gets some minutes in the same position as Temple. So I think Temple for 3-3 on DraftKings is pretty good value here. Played 31 minutes last game, 28 fantasy points, so definitely don't mind him for value. I'm not going to spend up for anyone here like Vucevic. He's been putting up big games, but I don't see the need to go to him here on this giant slate. So if I had to pick one guy, it's just going to be Temple here on DraftKings for value in cash games. But as a tournament value guy, I don't love it. I don't think he has much of a ceiling. He just feels pretty safe for his price tag in cash games. That's why I like him there on DraftKings for 3-3.
Gotcha. Moving on, Cleveland side, Damian Dotson out. We got Mfiondu Kabengele. Is that how you say his name, Chris? 10-day contract for Cleveland. Yes.
Who?
Mfiondu Kabengele.
Yeah. So for these guys, I don't care. They're very low point per minute guys. So I don't care about their names. Okay. I care about guys like Goga.
All right. Larry Nance marked as in projected starters. Darius Garland, a.k.a. Thomas Bay. Colin Sexton, Isaiah Coro, Kevin Love, and Jarrett Allen. Who do you like there, Chris, if anybody?
Yeah, no one here for me. This is the lowest over-under on the slate. No one here that stands out, like Temple on the other side, so I'm not going to play any Cavs here tonight.
Okay, let's move on to the Brooklyn game. I'll just start here. So we have Brooklyn against Toronto. Brooklyn side, KD is out. We have Tyler Johnson out, Chris Chiozza out, Claxton out, Kyrie in, Blake Griffin probable, Reggie Perry questionable, and then my boy Mike James signed that 10-day contract in Brooklyn. I think I remember talking about him earlier on. I don't know if it was on the show, but I definitely have talked about it with you. I was asking if he'd ever make it back in the NBA. I think you gave me a no.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's always been a pretty good scorer. Just a little undersized. But yeah, I don't think he's a bad player. I think they're missing a bunch of guys at point guard like Tyler Johnson, Chris Chiozza. So I think that's why they signed him.
Yeah, he's got like that kind of Kyle Lowry build. Undersized but kind of stocky, I think. Maybe smaller than Kyle Lowry, but still a little stocky. He's not like a small guy. But projected starters, Kyrie, Joe Harris, Landry Shamet, Jeff Green, and DeAndre Jordan. Just first of all, I'm wondering, Mike James, he's probably not going to be ready to play for a while, right?
I think they actually signed him a few days ago because I was going to mention it, or maybe they didn't officially sign him a few days ago, but I was going to mention it like 3 or 4 days ago because we got word that he was planning to sign with the Nets, something like that.
Is he in the player pool?
No, I don't think so, but I mean, I don't think he's going to matter at all. I don't think he's going to get minutes unless it's a blowout. Like in a normal game. I don't know if he's playing today or not. But it doesn't matter to me. The guy I'm interested in here again, just like yesterday, is going to be Kyrie Irving, of course. He's I mean, he's playing without Harden. He's playing without Durant. So I think you got to play Kyrie on both sides once again. Great matchup against Toronto, in my opinion. They don't play much defense. They play fast. So I like Kyrie a lot. He's 9-9 on DK, 9-4, I believe, on FanDuel again. So he's my favorite point guard of the slate. I like him more than guys like Curry, more than Westbrook as well. Just a really good spot for him. Only concern would be if they rest him because it's a back-to-back. But he's played in back-to-backs this season, so I'm not too concerned. So he's my guy, my number one option there. And then just like yesterday, I think Joe Harris is also pretty viable on FanDuel. I had him in my core yesterday. He was 4.6K. Today he's still 4.6K. So the price tag is really good with the situation that they currently have, missing a bunch of guys. So I like Joe Harris for value there on FanDuel as well. But that's pretty much it.
Okay. Toronto side, we have Kyle Lowry back in, Fred VanVleet in, Siakam in, Jalen Harris out, Paul Watson out, Rodney Hood questionable. So it looks like all the Raptors here are back, ready to make that playoff push, Chris. Projected starters, Kalo, Fred VanVleet, OG, Siakam, and Boucher. That's such a beautiful starting lineup, Chris. Love to see it. Who do you like here on the Raptors?
Yeah, I mean, they have a pretty good starting lineup, but I don't understand why they're so bad. Kind of weird.
I
Maybe
feel
they
like
have a bad bench.
I feel like Nick Nurse has just been like messing around with the rotation all season long, like the Baines Boucher thing for a while. We had like Alex Len for a bit, and then just like some rest. I think Siakam also missed a bunch of people missed a bunch of games. They're also playing in Tampa, but I don't think it's that much I don't think it's that I don't think that is the problem. I just feel like the roles for the guys haven't been defined too well. It's not very clear, other than like some guys like maybe Fred VanVleet, like you're the go-to guy. But I think roles like, I don't know, Siakam was kind of weird throughout the season. OG was weird. Boucher was really weird as well. So I think that's part of it.
Yeah, so I mean, exactly for that reason, I can't really play these guys. It's a really good spot against Brooklyn. I just don't know what's going to happen. Like they could rest someone halfway through the game. It could be like at the same time, it could be VanVleet who gets there. It could be Siakam. It could be OG. It could be Lowry. It could be Boucher. So they have so many options that could get there. On this giant slate, I don't feel like I need to pick. I really wouldn't be surprised if one of these guys lands in the winning lineup on either site at the end of the night. But I don't know who it's going to be. If you're playing like 150 lineups, then I would try to get some exposure to the Raptors, but I have no idea who it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, this ownership, Chris Boucher, Bobby Boucher, I mean, it's kind of an ugly price tag. All these guys back in, Chris, 7.5, 0.23% ownership looks about right to me, but is there any way he could pay that off? Like, we know his upside, but can we get it with all these guys here, Chris?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, these guys can all hit their ceilings. They're all good stocks guys. So if Boucher gets like 5 blocks, he could easily get to 50. If OG gets 5 steals, he could easily get to 50. Lowry, same thing. VanVleet, same thing. Siakam, same thing. So they're all really good stocks guys. So they have a really high ceiling. I'm having trouble deciding who it's going to be. That's why I can't play any of them in cash games. But I think if you're entering at 150, then you could play some Raptors.
Yeah. Moving on, next game, Philadelphia, Phoenix. Phoenix side first. Nader still out. Cam Johnson marked as in, and Sarge probable. Projected starters: Chris Paul, Booker, Bridges, Sarge, and DeAndre Ayton. Anybody here, Chris, on the Phoenix Suns against Philadelphia?
Not really. I think we had Sarge start his first game of the season last game. So if he starts, I think he's probably a little bit interesting. It's also a revenge game for him against Philadelphia. So I think on DraftKings, I think he's 3.1K. Yeah, he is. So if he starts for 3.1K, he's probably a little bit interesting. I'd prefer someone like O'Shea Brissett instead. But if you want to pivot off of Brissett, go to Sarge for the same price. I don't mind it. Only if he starts. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Not going to pick anyone else here from the Suns, though.
Got it. Philadelphia side, we have Simmons questionable, Tobias Harris questionable, Embiid questionable, Seth Curry questionable. So it's always kind of kind of ugly leading up to lock, Chris, anytime we have some of these Philadelphia guys questionable up in the air. So projected starters, Simmons, who's questionable, Seth Curry, who's questionable, Tobias Harris, who's questionable, Joel Embiid, who's questionable. Danny Green is the only one who's not questionable in the projected starting lineup. How do we deal with the 76ers today? Or do we just kind of stay away? Or like, what do we do? Is the pricing good for anyone if someone's out?
Yeah, so it's the first game that locks up the slate, so we're definitely going to know this news. If two of these three guys are out, obviously with their big three, Embiid, Simmons, and Harris, if two of the three are out, we play the other one. If one of the three is out, probably don't need them on this slate. If all three are out, then we're going to have a ton of interest in these value guys, just because their roles are going to be insane. It's a bad matchup against Phoenix, but I still think that these value guys will be able to get there if these big three guys miss the game. Spread right now is 3.5 favoring the Suns, so it kind of suggests that they play. But who knows? I think if they end up resting, then I'll probably place a bet on the Phoenix -3 side. But
we just got like a questionable tweet for Simmons and Tobias Harris, but then the tweet was deleted.
I see one here. It says...
Oh, now it's here. Yeah.
It's from the Philly Sports Reporter. He says, Doc Rivers declines to comment on who is in or out tonight. Says a lot of guys are on the brink one way or another.
Yeah, it's classic Doc.
I think we had Dakota before who was complaining about Doc Rivers. Also maybe Trigga.
Yeah, we've definitely had a few crunchers here complain about Doc. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was saying. It's going to be hectic up until that game starts, I think.
Yeah, that one's a lock, though, so we're pretty lucky.
Unless you get it like a few minutes before.
Better than a few minutes after.
Yeah, just be ready is all I'm saying. But are you done with the Sixer side, Chris?
Yeah, looks like we're getting the Raptors news now. Everyone is available to play. Is it 2:30? Not yet. But yeah, looks like everyone is available.
Yeah, they're doing it a bit early because I think they were on the hot seat for they got that fine, juicy $25K fine for resting some guys. They're not doing it the right way, Chris. They need some help from LeBron how to properly rest without your team getting fined. Always got to have the game time decision, the questionable tag every single day. Is that the trick? Maybe that's the trick.
I guess so. But I mean, LeBron doesn't rest. So even with that tag every day, he doesn't rest.
But maybe that's the trick. You got to have it always kind of questionable. Like just let everyone know that you're playing hurt always, or you might not play.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it looks like we got a bunch of Pacers news here. We got Goga out, we got Lamb out, and we
Place
got
your bets.
out. I don't know who to place my bet on. Like it's not a big name. Maybe I'll place like +9 for the Thunder. But I mean, these aren't big names. They still have LeVert and what's his name, Brogdon playing. So I don't think there's much I can take advantage of here.
Okay. Ready for the next game here?
Yep.
So we got Atlanta against the Knicks. Atlanta side first, Cam Reddish out, Chris Dunn out, DeAndre Hunter out, Danilo Gallinari is out, and Tony Snell out. Projected starters, Trae Young, Bogdanovich, Kevin Huerter, John Collins, and Clint Capella. Pace down spot, Chris, like you always love to say against the Knicks. Anything that you like here, or is this kind of a stay away for the Hawks?
Yeah, there's nothing here. I mean, we're going through a bunch of spots with great like high pace games. Lots of injuries as well. Nothing really here. Collins is in, Capella is in, Trae Young is in, so that's pretty much their big three. Also, Bogey, pace down spot against the Knicks. So I mean, this game should be interesting in terms of watching it. I think Atlanta's like 4 seed right now. New York is 5 seed, something like that. Tight spread as well. But I think for DFS, I don't really think we need anyone here.
Okay. Chris Dunn, wasn't he really, like, he was good for a bit in Chicago, right?
No, I don't
Um,
think he was good. I
Pardon?
think a lot. I don't think he was good. A lot of people hated him because he kind of sucked, but he was pretty good for DFS.
Yeah. Oh, is it just DFS? I just remember him having some like big games for a bit. So he wasn't a good player. He was just kind of like a chucker.
Not, he wasn't a chucker. He's like a defensive guy. So he gets like rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. But he's
How?
not like a good player at all.
Oh, if he's a good defensive player and he's not a chucker, why do people hate him then?
Well, he's a high pick. I
Oh,
think he,
bust candidate.
yeah, I think he was top 5 or something. Let's see. Chris Dunn draft 5th overall pick.
Like he looked good. He looked really athletic. What's his injury?
Ankle, and he's very old. He's 27 years old. He was a 4-year player in college.
Oh, got it. Okay, let's go through the Knicks, Chris. Rajon Rondo here. He knows all the busts. He says 5th overall bust.
Yep.
So Knicks side, Alec Burks out for them. Projected starters: Elfman, Reggie Bullock, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Orange Julius, and Nerlens Noel. Any interest there, Chris?
Orange Julius. Yeah, not really today. Played Randall yesterday. So I guess he's fine. I think RJ Barrett is actually pretty interesting on FanDuel. Played him yesterday as well. He's 5.8K over there. DraftKings, he's 6'3". So ever since Alec Burks has gone out, RJ Barrett has been playing a ton of minutes. In the first game against Dallas, RJ played 46 minutes. That was the first game that Burks missed. And then the game after that, RJ got into foul trouble, so he didn't end up playing too many minutes. He only played 36 in a game that went into OT. I think he fouled out 3 minutes with 3 minutes to go left in the fourth quarter. And then yesterday he played 39 minutes. So he was playing like the full first quarter, and then he played a little bit into the second quarter, played the full third quarter, and played a little bit into the fourth quarter yesterday. So he's playing a ton of minutes here. So that's why I have interest in RJ Barrett. Didn't have a great game yesterday. He was scoring the ball well, but he only had 1 rebound and no assists and only 1 stock. So I think he's usually going to give us a few more rebounds, a few more assists. But yesterday he was only scoring. But I think the price tag on him is pretty appealing on FanDuel, like I said, for 5.8K. And then we have Reggie Bullock, who was in play a lot earlier in the day. He's been playing a ton of minutes as well ever since Burks has gone out. He's 3.8K on FanDuel. But now we have these Clippers guys at shooting guard like Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann. So I think those guys are more appealing to me now compared to someone like Reggie Bullock. So Reggie Bullock is probably out of the mix now for me. Maybe in tournaments you can still go there. His game log has been pretty nice. Like I said, minutes have been very high ever since Burks has gone out. So yeah, it's mostly going to be RJ and Bullock if I am playing a New York Knicks today.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Utah against Houston. Go over Utah first. So Arsan Ilyasova, questionable tag. Donovan Mitchell is out. Udoka Azubuike, he is out as well. Projected starters: Mike Conley, Jingle Joe, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert. Anybody here, Chris, from the Jazz that you like going up against Houston? If I had to guess, the spread's probably ugly. Anything in tournaments here, or are you just going to be like, oh, if this game like gets blown out, it's going to be one of these guys that does it? What's the situation here today?
Yeah, so I mean, Mitchell is out, like you said, so I have some interest. They're implied to score 118 points. Problem is, we just have all these other great spots now. Like, we have Indiana now with a bunch of guys resting, the Clippers without Paul George, Brooklyn, and then we obviously have the Golden State-Washington game that's just crazy today. So I don't know. On any other slate, we would like this game, but on this slate, the spread is 11.5, which is the highest. They could easily be up by like 20 early and kind of play their main guys a little less. So I think that's why I'm fine with staying away from it. At the same time, like it could be a close game, and these guys will smash in the matchup against Houston. So it's kind of tricky. Probably more of a tournament team to target here today. Ingles, Clarkson, Conley, Bogdanovic as well. Probably all viable in tournaments without Mitchell there. In cash games, like I said, I had some interest earlier, but now with all this news popping up, probably not going to play any Utah Jazz in cash games.
Got it. Houston side, we have Sterling Brown, David Nwaba, Danwell House, Eric Gordon, DJ Augustine, all listed as out. John Wall, the Wall start, is probable. Projected starters: Wall, Kevin Porter Jr., Jay Sean Tate, Kelly Olynyk, and Christian Wood. Wall is 7-8 here today, Chris. He's a chucker. DFS players love him. Is he a decent tournament play today, maybe?
Yeah, he's always viable in tournaments whenever he plays, just because, like you said, he chucks the ball. But like I keep saying, we have these other spots. We have Brogdon in a similar price range. We have Kyrie for like 1,000 more. We have Westbrook and Curry for 2,000 more. So just prefer those guys, honestly. Like I said, if this game blows out, John Wall isn't likely to play many minutes. So I don't love that either. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really want to play any Rockets here tonight.
Okay, let's move along to the next game. Detroit Pistons against the Dallas Mavericks. Detroit side got Mason Plumlee marked as in, Dennis Smith Jr. doubtful, Killian Hayes is out, Corey Joe back in, Ellington in, Dumbuya in, Grant back in, Rodney McGruder is out. Projected starters: Corey Joe, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee. Anybody here, Chris, on the Pistons that you have interest in today?
No one here. They're implied to score 103, which is one of the lowest on the slates. These guys are back, like Grant, Plumlee, Joseph. All their veterans are playing today, so I don't really have interest. Maybe Isaiah Stewart. We've seen him have pretty big games recently. We actually saw him have a big game even when Plumlee played. So he's only 4-5 on FanDuel. I think on DraftKings he is 5-6, so a little more expensive there. I think on FanDuel, if you want like a sneaky tournament guy, you can go with Isaiah Stewart today. No one's going to play him. We know the upside that he has. He's very good at rebounding, very good stocks guy. So I don't mind him in tournaments as a sneaky value guy on FanDuel, but other than that, there's no one here.
Okay. Question from Deshaun. He says, Jingle Joe, Chris, or Maple Pippin?
Give me Maple Pippin.
Okay. Mavs side, we have Tyrell Terry marked as out, Tim Hardaway Jr. probable. Projected starters: Luka Doncic, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleba, and Kristaps Porzingis. Anybody there, Chris, on the flip side of this game?
No, there's no one here on this side. But who's Maple Pippin? Is that referring to Wiggins or Barrett?
Wiggins.
Then give me Ingles. If it was Barrett, then I'll take Barrett.
Is Barrett also Maple Pippin?
I don't think Wiggins isn't Maple Pippin. Wiggins is Maple Jordan.
Who's Maple Pippin? Wait, what's the Maple one then?
Poutine Pippin, Maple Jordan.
I can't keep up with all that. Let's move on to the next game, Chris. We have Miami against San Antonio. Let's go over Miami first. So Bam Adebayo back in, Butler in, Iggy is out, Hero questionable, Gabe Vincent probable, and Dedmon is back in. Projected starters, we have Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Trevor Ariza, and Bam Adebayo. Anybody here, Chris, facing the Spurs?
No, there's no one here on the Heat either. Another game where it's kind of lower, only a 216 over under. These guys were all questionable. I think they're all playing, so they're all playing now, right?
Yeah.
They had a questionable tag earlier, so there are some injuries here, some lingering injuries. So I don't know, just not a spot I want to target.
Okay, we got Dort out, Chris. John Wall in, Kevin Porter out. Place your bets.
John Wall in, Kevin Porter out. If it was the other way, I could have placed some bets, but I think with this way...
What about Dort?
Yeah, Dort doesn't really matter in my opinion.
Dort matters.
Who does he matter for?
Maybe someone like Maladon? I don't know.
Yeah, but I still don't really trust Maladon. I usually like it when like a big name goes out. Then I can be more secure. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's go over the Spurs. So we have Trey Lyles out for them. Projected starters: DeJounte Murray, Derek White, DeMar DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob. Anybody there, Chris?
No, same sort of thing. I don't need anyone from the Spurs tonight.
Okay. Moving on, Minnesota, Sacramento. Minnesota side, we have Jalen Noel, doubtful projected starters. Your boy, Ricky Rubio. Chris, you have his player t-shirt. Had it. I don't know if you still have it. Do you still have it?
Yep.
Yeah, you should wear it one of these days on a Rubio day. So he's projected to start. We got Ant-Man, Kogi, Daniels, and Catman. Anybody here, Chris, on Minnesota that you're interested in today?
1 second. Are we getting some more news? Just Troy Brown confirmed out. But yeah, this game, I think it's a pretty sneaky game here. It's the second highest over under. We saw it go, I think it went over yesterday. Yeah, they got 254 points yesterday in that game. I think it was like 80-80 with like 8 minutes left in the third quarter. So, I mean, these teams are going to score a lot of points. Catman, always viable. D'Lo, I think he's off of the minutes restriction now. He only played 25 last game, but we got word before that game that he's going to be off the restriction. So I don't mind D'Lo. He had the crazy first half yesterday, kind of cooled off after that. But it's a really good matchup here. So I like D'Lo a lot in tournaments. Cat a lot in tournaments once again. We saw Rainmaker take it all down with Cat. Just one simple difference like that can kind of win you a slate. So I think Cat's interesting, and D'Lo, Edwards as well. He has a ton of upside. So I mean, all three of these guys I think are viable in tournaments, but I don't think we need them in cash games here today. So I think it's going to be a sneaky spot where you can get them lower owned than usual in a matchup against Sacramento. But I think in cash games, there's just a lot of injury news that we could take advantage of.
Okay. Got a question, Chris, from your boy Ronald Jones. He says, Chrissair, are you doing head-ups tonight?
Yeah, I am. Isn't that the running back for the Buccaneers, Ronald Jones?
Remember that video of Ant-Man, Chris, asking who Rodriguez was?
Yeah, A-Rod.
That's literally me with every sport other than NBA. So don't ask me.
Ronald Jones he just won a championship for the Buccaneers. Now he's in here. So yeah, to answer your question, I will be. I mean, I do have heads up right now if you want to take them. Yeah, they are up there.
Are you getting called out?
I don't think so.
You have that that Eminem song Stan. You got like a Stan in on Twitter. You had one before. He was like always calling you out. He's like messaging you, sniping you.
I don't think that's Stan though, because if he's calling me out, I mean, Stan is like they like you a lot.
Kind of like this. Oh, I don't know. He was always like tweeting at you. I don't think you ever. No, you responded once. I remember that. I think I responded to. I don't think I've seen him since then. Has he been quiet since then?
Yeah, so that was the day when the Sixers had like 7 guys.
Oh, yeah.
He went for 40. That guy didn't play any Sixers. He was making fun of me for playing the Sixers when they were just the obvious plays of the slate. Yeah. Everyone had them except him. They went crazy. But yeah, I stopped taking his games after that. I felt a little bad.
Oh my god, yeah. Wait, you were taking his games or he was taking yours?
I was taking his games.
Oh. Let's go over Sacramento. So we got Robert Woodard. He is out. I think we just got him out. Don't think that matters. Sean Holmes out as well. Projected starters: De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Mo Harkless, slate killer there for Justin, Harrison Barnes, and Hassan Whiteside. Chris, anybody that you like here?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a really good matchup here against the Timberwolves. Like I said, this is another really high total game. The Kings guys, I think they have better price tags than the Timberwolves guys. So I have some interest here. I think on FanDuel, Hassan Whiteside for 5.4K is pretty interesting. We were talking about him versus Goga earlier before Goga got ruled out. I think you got to play Whiteside now. He's only 5.4K over there, implied to score 122 points. So I think he's in a good spot. On DraftKings, he's 6'2", so he's too expensive, so I can't do that. Fox, I think he got a little bit hurt yesterday, so I don't want to play him. I don't know if I think he has a questionable tag, does he?
No, I don't see it. Oh, yeah. He's game time decision. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, if he's out, then a bunch of these guys will become more viable, but we're likely to be locked into a bunch of these early games, just because that news is more kind of, we already have it. So Fox news will be big, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to take advantage of it. But But I do like Harrison Barnes as well. I played him yesterday on FanDuel. I think I'm going to play him again today. He's still in the same 6K price range. He's playing like 38 plus minutes per night. So I like Harrison Barnes on FanDuel for 6K. DraftKings, he's 7-1, so I can't play him there. So I think these guys are more viable on FanDuel. They're pretty much all cheaper there.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. So your boy Ronald, he says he's going to be looking for you, Chris, tonight. And then he says, appreciate it, but I'm not that Ronald Jones.
Yeah. I think my contests are posted if you want to take them.
Do people want to take your contests?
No one takes them. It's kind of hard to get action, especially in NBA. No one takes my games.
Wow. Everyone takes my games, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta build your name up a little bit.
Jeez. Next game up, Memphis against the Clip Show. Grizzlies side, Dylan Brooks, questionable. Jaren Jackson Jr., questionable. Jonas Valanciunas, out. Projected starters, Ja Morant, Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Tillman. Anything here, Chris?
So I think Jaren Jackson is going to be back today, so that kind of negates the Joe Val injury a little bit. Obviously, Jaren Jackson isn't going to play like 30 minutes here today, but he's probably going to play, I don't know, 16 to 24, somewhere in that range. So I'm not too interested in these other guys. We played Tillman last game. He started for Joe Val. He had a really good game. I mean, you can go back to him. I think he has a decent price tag on DraftKings. Let me see. 4-2. So I don't mind that price tag. I don't think I'm going to land there today on this slate. I'm probably not going to take any Grizzlies. I have a ton of interest in the other side of this game. But on the Grizzlies, maybe Ja Morant in tournaments. He had that giant game last time out against Denver. He went for 70 fantasy points. That one went double OT, so he played 45 minutes. But, I mean, even before the OT, he had a monster score. So he always has that ceiling. We finally saw it last game. So I don't mind Ja Morant. Maybe he's going to turn the corner here and finish the season strong. They're also fighting for a playoff spot. So, I mean, they should be playing him a lot, especially in a close game like this. Memphis is favored by 2.5. So, yeah, Ja Morant, don't mind him in tournaments here tonight.
Got it. Let's go over the Clip Show, Chris. So I don't think this news matters, but we have Rajon Rondo marked as out. Still going to list it there. Serge Ibaka out. Kawhi Leonard out. That's the big news. Paul George also out. Reggie Jackson out. So got some big guys out for the Clip Show. Projected starters. Actually, who do we have to project, Chris? Who's projected to start for you?
Probably like Terrence Mann, Luke Kennard.
Morris, Batum, Zubats.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah, who do you like there?
Yeah, so I love Marcus Morris here tonight. If he does play, he's gonna be the main guy for them. I mean, we've seen the situation before where, like, Paul George gets ruled out earlier in the day, Kawhi gets ruled out earlier in the day, and then a few minutes after lock, Marcus Morris gets scratched. So I mean, I hope that doesn't happen today. But he's in a great spot now. Without those guys playing, no Reggie Jackson as well, no Rondo, like you said. So there's a ton of shots to go around here, a ton of minutes to go around. So I like Marcus Morris a lot. He's my favorite Clipper tonight. Like I said, I placed a lot of bets on him as well once we got the news, so I hope he does play. And then we have Luke Kennard as well. I think he's definitely in play on both sides. He's 3.6 on FanDuel, DraftKings 3.7. We've seen him as well in this role. I think a few games ago against Detroit, he played 38 minutes. He got the start, 33 fantasy points. So I like Luke Kennard as well. Probably my second favorite second favorite Clipper. So I like him. And then we have Terrence Mann as well. He is 4.5K on DK, 4.4K on FanDuel. Good price tag for him as well. I like him a lot. And then we have Zoo. I like Zoo, 5.1 on DK, 5.1 on FanDuel as well. Probably prefer spending a little bit extra to get to Whiteside on FanDuel, but I think on DK, Zoo is definitely viable, where you can play two centers, so I like him. So yeah, I mean, it depends on who they start. I have interest in all their starters here tonight, but my two favorite guys are going to be Marcus Morris and Luke Kennard.
Got it. Let's move on to the last game of the slate to go over. Denver Nuggets against the Trailblazers. Denver side, Austin Rivers marked in. Projected starters, Campazzo, Barden, Aaron Gordon, Porter Jr., and Nikola Jokic. Who do you like there, Chris?
Not much here. I mean, Jokic, we have this matchup against Nurkic. Obviously, they were kind of rivals before when they were on Denver. They didn't like each other, I don't think. So you have that going for you. Never mind playing Jokic. I think he's the MVP this season. He's just playing out of his mind. So I like him. Probably the only guy that I'd want to play here from the Nuggets. Probably more of a tournament person as well. Just because in cash games, it's probably hard to spend up for him when we have all these other studs that I'd rather pay up for. It's probably just Jokic in tournaments.
Okay. Jean Rondo, he sent a bunch of angry emojis in the chat, Chris. Not sure why. And then he says, I'm heading out early. Thanks to the great content. As always, good luck, everyone. The flex emote. What do you have to say about that, Chris?
Thanks for being here, as always.
Other half here, Trailblazers. We have Derek Jones Jr., probable. Dame Lillard back in. Nurkic back in. Projected starters, Lillard, McCollum, Norm Powell, Rocco, and Nurk. Anything here, Chris, on the Trailblazers that you like?
No, there's nothing here with all their guys back in. Just don't need to play them.
Okay, let's get into the 3 plays here, get into some cores, and then check out. Then we can check out the model stuff at the end, just see what's going on there. Let's start with FanDuel, Chris. Overall play of the day for you there. Who do you have?
I'll go with Kyrie Irving once again.
Okay, value play. Who's your guy?
Value play. I'll go with Joe Harris again, just like yesterday.
Okay. I think Kyrie likes to play against the Raptors, by the way, especially like when he was back in Cleveland. I feel like he always has some nice games against Toronto. Who's your tournament play, Chris?
Let me look at this one. I said Terry yesterday. He had like 30 points at the half. I think he finished with 30 as well. So he didn't do anything in the second half. Let me see.
You had him, but then you took him off later, actually, after the show in the Discord.
Yeah, after Graham got ruled in, but still, I mean, I think he was a solid play. Today, let's go with Malcolm Brogdon.
Broggy?
Yeah.
Okay. DK, overall play there. Who do you have?
DK, overall play. I'll go with Westbrook here. He's a little easier to get to, just because the salary cap is... Or not the salary cap. You have
Positions?
some 3K guys who are viable and more positions. So, yeah, I'll say Westbrook.
Okay, Westy it is. Value play, who do you have?
Give me O'Shea Brissett.
2 S's and 2 T's. Tournament play, who do you have?
I'll go with Kennard again. Not Kennard. Brogdon.
Broggy. Okay. Let's go over your core plays, Chris. So let's check it out. So you got Kai, you got Marcus Morris, everyone out for the clip show. And then you have Joe Harris here, too cheap yet again on FanDuel. So let's lock those guys in. You want to do a recap while you like those quickly, Chris, while it builds?
Actually, let me update it because I don't know if because we have this Pacers news now, so I don't know if I need Harris in my core. So I have Morris. Let me just update that quickly. I'll go with... Let's see. I'll keep Kyrie. I'll get rid of Morris, and I'll get rid of Harris. And I'll add... Let me just get rid of them. Is it update in real time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now they're gone. I'll add Brissett here, and I'll add Bradley. Actually, I'll add Malcolm Brogdon. So Brissett and Brogdon, 2 of the Pacers guys.
Wow, look at that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hit build, see what you like. By the way, I'm looking at the development server that we have, Chris. We're getting like projections here that are updating, but they're all updated already on the other server. So it's quite a bit faster. So we'll have that out soon. But which ones do you want to go over?
Yeah, let's take a look at the. I guess we can look at the first two.
Need to write a note. One sec. I think the your cores don't get pushed into the bell button there on the test server.
Actually, can we get rid of Irving? I think there's a build with Steph Curry that I kind of like as well.
So just 2 cores for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to do right now, but yeah, let's see this.
Okay, so first 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. So you got Kai versus Steph, and then Barrett and Holiday, Randall and Zingas, Gobert and Hassan. So 4v4.
Yep. So what do we have here? We have Brogdon. Both lineups, they're missing a bunch of guys. I think he's a good play. Usage rate has been up ever since he's come back from that injury, so he looks a lot better now. So I like him. We have Brad Beal, Luke Kennard. Really solid plays as well. Brissett, a bunch of guys missing for them, and Harrison Barnes. And then we have this 4v4 here. Kyrie, Barrett, Randall, and Whiteside versus Curry, Holiday, Justin Holiday, Kristaps, and Gobert. So I mean, I kind of like the first side just off the bat, just because I don't feel great about Gobert. I don't feel great about Porzingis, and obviously there are 2 pretty big spend ups on the other side. First side we get Kyrie and we get Randall, who I like a lot. We get Barrett, who I like. We talked about him a lot, playing a ton of minutes. Whiteside for 5-4, like that price tag as well. So I like the first side here.
Got it. Should we go over DK then? Get into that one.
Yeah, let's see who I have in core there.
No one.
No, I do have someone. I have 4 guys.
Oh yeah, my bad. You have Westy, Curry, Kennard, and Brissett.
Westy, Curry,
Kennard, Brissett.
Okay, Kennard, Brissett. Yeah, I think we're good with that.
Okay, building. Which ones do you want to go over?
Let's take a look at the first 2 here. I'm going to remove Curry though. I'm going to add Brogdon instead. It won't make a difference for the build here, but I'm just going to do that.
Okay. Actually, I realized why the cores don't go in the staging one. It's because it's a different database there. So that's why. My bad.
Yeah.
So it does work fine. But yeah, let me highlight the differences here.
Yeah, so we have Brogdon in both once again, Kennard in both, Brissett in both, Curry, Morris, Westbrook. Yeah, all these really solid plays. And then this 2v2 is kind of value on both sides. Sumner and Zoo versus Mann and Looney. This one's pretty close. I honestly like the second side a little more. We've seen Mann put up big games when a bunch of guys have missed games for the Clippers, so I like Mann a lot. Looney as the last piece against the Wizards. I don't mind that. Sumner, he's the guy that I'm a little worried about. I mean, they're missing a bunch of guys, so maybe he's the play here. Zoo, I like Zoo a lot. I'm going to have to dig in a little more on Sumner. I mean, they're missing Lamb, they're missing McDermott, they're missing a bunch of guys on the wing, but LeVert and Brogdon are in, so I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll go with the Sumner side just to get another pacer. They're very thin today. But yeah, I like both of these sides here. If I had to pick one right now, like I said, I'd probably go with the second side. But first side looks very good. The projection difference is very large as well. So maybe I'm wrong here. When the projection difference is this big, I'd probably just trust the projections.
Yeah, you do say that a lot. Yeah, you also say you always say when the projection difference is pretty big in the first one, and the ones following it's quite an obvious choice. So
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit too high on Looney. That's why I kind of like the second side. But I guess he's pretty inconsistent, so probably the first side's better.
Yeah, so let's see. So on FanDuel, you just have two cores. Kind of want to go over the model after this, but let's quickly go over the single slate here. Which one, After Hours or Denver, Chris, for Royal King?
Let's do After Hours.
Okay. Let's see. Kennard is the chalk. Barnes chalk. Jaw chalk. Morris chalk. It's pretty chalky up here, Chris. Like, I don't know. I'd say like these guys here, Porter and up. Any of these guys you would consider not playing? From Porter, Mann, Morris, Jaw, Barnes, Kennard?
No, I like all those guys. Yeah, I think the first lineup has Ant-Man and Cat. Second lineup has Hield and Jokic. I like the first side, so I like the first team here a lot.
There is no what's his face? Ninja Turtle guy. Russell.
D'Lo?
Yeah.
Why is he Ninja Turtle guy?
I don't know. Isn't that his name? I thought he's called, I don't know.
Isn't that Russell Westbrook? He looks like a turtle.
What? For some reason I thought D'Lo was a Ninja Turtle. Not sure. Need to find some stuff.
Oh, isn't there a Ninja Turtle called D'Angelo?
Yeah, exactly. That's why he is, Chris.
Yeah.
That's why he's a Ninja Turtle. He also has like the headband, so definitely Ninja Turtle.
Michelangelo.
Same thing. Okay, so we did that. Let's go over this stuff here, Chris. I want to do this. So you have your two cores. You have Brogdon and Brissett. So you lock those in. Let's just see if the projections here are the same on both, first of all. Is it slightly different here? No, it's the same. Just different order, same score. So same projections, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's take a look at this. So you like these two, right?
I like the first one.
I mean, these are the ones we went over, right? Let's highlight those. Let's pull up the player pool here. Let's take a look at this. Let's see, does this work right now, or did we? Yeah, so that works. This one still does not. So what do you want to try here, Chris? Let's just try it out for fun.
Okay.
Do you want to do just Vegas total, implied team total, 100?
Yeah, well, your camera's blocking it, so you have to move your camera.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah, let's try implied team total, see what that does.
Okay. We're also getting some updates here from Trigger. Ninja Turtle updates. He says they're all named after painters, Chris. Artists. Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael.
I did not know that, but yeah, it makes sense now. Trigger always has these gems, hidden gems.
Yeah, he's just cultured, super cultured guy. He knows it all. So you want to try this 100, Chris? Boom.
Yeah, let's see. So, yeah, put it to 100. What does it do? It gives us more of these. Probably, it's going to give us more Washington, Golden State, and Minnesota, Sacramento. Right?
I think so. We'll see. We'll see what we got. We'll see if we got the first two anywhere in the build still. Usually 100's quite a bit, but let's see. Yeah, so is this the first one that you like, Chris? The Gobert one? No, that's the second one. So
yeah.
The first one disappeared that you liked. Obviously, that one's a lot sharper. Like that's the one to go with for cash. I'm just curious about the Vegas stuff here. But what do you make of this, Chris? Like, what does it look like to you? What's happening?
Yeah, so it got rid of the Knicks guys because the Knicks are usually in a low over/under game, and the build I liked had the Knicks guys. So, yeah, that's kind of why that's why that one is gone. But yeah, this team looks fine to me as well. Draymond. I mean, you're going to get a lot of Draymond because he's the guy. He's the power forward in the highest total game. So you're going to get him, Michael Porter Jr. in the Denver game. I think that's third highest over under. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind this at all. I think it's definitely viable.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm really excited for you guys to have this because I think this is pretty cool. So let's also look at this one. Obviously, I think when you veer into this, it kind of feel like you got to know what you're doing. Default projections, way to go for cash games, always. Even for tournaments, I feel like you don't need to mess with this. There's a lot of settings. But I think this is more so, like you mentioned, like if you were interested in using like randomness, this will give you just like a different baseline than all the other crunchers for your projections. So it's definitely fun for tournaments. But do you want to try this one out, Chris? Average points in last X amount of games.
So what does that do?
It will give more weight to players' projections if they've been performing better in the last however many games.
Yeah, let's try it. So that's for game log people, right?
Yeah, so I think this will give you like the total, like it'll get the average fantasy points for a player over their last however many games you set here. So like this, like if you put 3 games, it'll get for Curry 54, it'll get the average of that. And then I think from those, it'll get the average between like this average and then their current projection. Or I think it'll multiply it a bit. But what do you want to put it at? 100, 30%?
Let's do 100 and just to see them. Let's get rid of the third one.
And then how many games do you want to do? 10's quite a bit.
Let's do 3 games.
Yeah, so these are all actually, I think they are...
Set it to 1. Let's see. Yeah, so Jokic, he had the big game last time. Butler, he got... What did he have? That was when Thomas picked him, right? He had 65?
Yep.
So, yeah, so it's just straight up. It's not using the projection at all, right?
Oh, it looks like it's not actually. Is this... I guess it is the average of their last games. So I think it should also use the average of the current game too, right?
No, well, that should be a slider here. It should be in the PFP should be a slider in these settings, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And then you could set a custom weight. Otherwise, you wouldn't have much customization. But yeah, let's see one game, last one game. Let's see who we get. I mean, this is just purely game log because it's purely how they performed last game.
Yeah, this is for your boy Brandon. He's probably gonna go crazy at this one.
It would be cool. I think it would be cool if you could factor in the PFP as well. But yeah, 459. So this is like back testing. Let's see. So open it up.
This is like the optimal for yesterday's slate.
But not just yesterday. It's the optimal for the last time all these guys played. So I don't think Trent played last time. So it's like the optimal for like the last 5 days if you added all the players together.
I mean, yeah, you look at all these guys. All these guys were in a winning lineup recently.
Yeah.
Like Ursan here. I don't think he's even playing today, is he?
Yeah, I think he is. No?
Oh, is he? I'm not sure. I thought he's questionable.
Yeah, he's questionable, so
yeah,
he's not out.
Yep. So there's that, and then I mean it's pretty cool. You can mix that in with like the Vegas stuff as well. But yeah, this will be cool once it's more developed.
Let's do the last 5 games and run it. Yeah, you definitely need the PFP in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think this one multiplies it by their existing PFP, and I don't think these ones... I mean, we can look at it in one game. Maybe it'll make more sense, actually. But yeah, this is last 5 games, Chris.
Yeah, so Furkan, he had a good little stretch, I think, of like 3 or 4 games when he was going nuts. Let me see. Yeah, so he had 44 is 5 games ago, then 28, 23, 36, and 15. So we have him for 29. Obviously, that's the average. But yeah, I mean, Jaren Jackson. So is that Jaren Jackson's score from last season?
Is it?
It's got to be. He hasn't played this year.
Oh my god, that's nice. Let's see.
Yeah, so in the bubble, he had 35, 33, and 41. Yeah, so you definitely need the the PFP weight, but I think if you add the PFP weight, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't think this one works though, right? Doesn't look like it.
Point per minute. Yeah, that's. I don't know if you need point per minute. I mean, maybe it's interesting as well, but I think PFP is the most important one.
Yeah.
And
well, I think this one's good for like the value guys, kind of give people a little boost. But yeah, we need to check it out more. But I like the Vegas one right now without the PFP. This is pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully that's ready soon. I mean, even if we had it like this, I don't think it would harm anyone, right?
I don't think so.
Me too. Because I mean, by default, it's off. So I think we can probably push it soon. People can try it. Trigger says throw in 100 implied total 2 with what?
How many games? Let's do 100 on each, but how many games back? Actually, he's right, because if you said that implied team total uses the PFP as well, current projected fantasy points. Let's try 100 on both. Let's do like last 5 games. I don't know. Let's do last 3 actually. And actually, let's not do 100 on team total. Let's do 50. Because otherwise, we're going to get a lot of the Warriors, Wizards, Kings, and Timberwolves.
Do you want to do 100 of this? Because I think if we don't do 100, I think it uses the existing PFP, no?
Yeah, but we want to use both.
Like if you just do like Jokic, right? We have him today 55.8. If we do 1, it's 55.96. So it does use the PFP unless you put 100% this, then it reduces PFP to 0. So do you want to do this 100, 3 games, or maybe like 80, 90? I think this way actually leaves some weight to the PFP for today, Chris.
Yeah, but that's kind of confusing because then if you have a bunch of settings, I don't know.
You think it should total to 100, all of these?
No, I think it should be a percentage. So if it's like 80, it should be 80%.
Trigger says 50-25.
50 to what?
50 to this, I guess 25 to this.
3 games? Let's try it.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, this would be pretty fun once it's like more developed. I think I want to have like, you can save like different settings and have profiles for this, so you can always like save the types of configurations that you like and rename them and name them different things. And I think it'll be really fun once that's ready. But yeah, what do you see here, Chris? We're getting some Brogdon. I mean, some Beal versus, that's a good narrative here. Harris is a pretty good play. Brissett's a good play. I mean, Brissett's locked. Stewart, Gafford. Don't know about those guys today. What do you think of these?
Yeah, so Stewart, he's the game log guy because he's been just crushing. But today they have their guys back, so that's kind of a problem. Let's try doing 25-50. Let's go last 10 games.
25 here?
Yeah.
Let's see. Changing. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of fun playing with this backtesting. Like, I don't know why it's so fun. Okay. 20. Oh yeah, Trigger says 25-50 now too, Chris. I don't know if he said that after you said it though.
Yeah, let's see what we get, because now we're using 10 games. So we're probably not going to get these guys who have just been crushing recently, like Stewart, Furkan. Do we have the locks in there right now?
Yeah, we do. Should we remove those?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is so cool. You guys will have this soon, but projections will update so much faster soon. So that's going to be awesome. I'm excited for that one. But yeah, we actually do have one of your lineups here, Chris, that we went over with no settings. I did favorite them, but I think this was the second one. But yeah, what do you see here? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, now we're getting Draymond again because we upped the implied team total thing. We're getting I don't know. Like these are all like they're all viable lineups. All they don't have any bad plays here. So it's definitely a good way to kind of differentiate.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the idea is to add a bunch more of these different settings that you guys can use, and then also have like different trends that you guys can find for players. So just a bunch of things that we want to work on. Just take some time, but it'll come soon. But yeah, it's really fun to play with. It seems like you are having fun messing around with this as well. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think the PFP needs to be calculated differently though. Like I think it needs to be its own setting. It doesn't need to be tied into these other ones.
You
know what I mean?
So yeah, I see what you mean. So
right now, if you get rid of the third one, So right now, it's for the second one, it's using 75% PFP and 25% whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it was just using 25% of this, you could have a separate PFP one. You could set it to like 30, and then you could set another one to 30. I think it's better that way instead of having it forced to be kind of the difference of what you put. So instead of having it by default 75% here.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're just developing this feature, so we're just figuring it out. But I think it'll obviously change a lot as we have more crunchers using it and just more eyes on it, and just whatever people say about it, feedback. We'll definitely take all that into account and improve it. But yeah, but today you kind of like the 50-25 here.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because if they're combined, how does it work now with PFP? Because
I think now it'll do this like 25-75, and then this is just a multiplication on top of the PFP that it gets.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you gonna try it today?
Pardon?
Are you gonna try it today?
Yeah, I tried it yesterday. It did okay, but yeah, I'll try it today. We can go over the. Let's see. I think Royal King wanted to go over the other slate. Let's just go over it with this today, the single game slate. So let's see, 25. Wait, was it 50-25 or 25-50? 25-50. 10 games, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Last thing here for the day. Oh, and this is for the single game slate with the MVP, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, but it's going to be Jokic, I think. He's just crushing all the stats.
Yeah, let's just see here. Let's just highlight these first three with these settings, remove them. See if it's the same. A little bit different, but yeah, obviously more or less the same here in the single slate. Yeah, anything else, Chris, for you want to go over? Or is that it? Wrap it up here.
I think we're good.
Let's do the housekeeping. Optimizer here, some promo. Check out our site, dfscrunch.com. That is our optimizer, our projections as well that we've been using throughout the show here, every single show. So dfscrunch.com, link is in the description of the YouTube video as well, down below, I believe. So if you go to our site, set an account up, you'll get 3 days completely for free. So you can cancel anytime before that trial. You can cancel afterwards, whenever. But important thing here is you can try it out for 3 days completely free. Won't be charged at all. During that trial, you get access to everything. So our Discord as well. All of our different slates that we have for every sport, all the different sports that we have, FanDuel, DraftKings, lots of sports, lots of slates, so lots of stuff here. Always improving, always adding new things like the model weights that we just were trying out here. So it's an exciting place to be if you love DFS. Great community here. I think we've all got the right attitude towards DFS, so it's a great place to sort of grow your bankroll, learn the ropes of DFS, and just kind of enjoy playing DFS with more success. So check that out. And then other thing, YouTube, before you guys go, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Helps us grow our channel. Make sure you're subscribed as well with the bell button clicked and then the all text selected, so you can stay notified for when we go live. We do the show here every single day, 2.5 hours before main slate. So that's an easy way to get a notification when we go live. Great place to ask your questions. get access to Chrissair. I said this yesterday. Not sure if 2 days in a row will kind of be too much for him, but he's a high stakes player here, knows his stuff. So lots of value here just for free every single day. So be sure to subscribe as well. And that said, guys, we'll be in the Discord. All new members, or all members, existing members, new members, any members. If you have more questions, come hang out there. Ask your questions there. And I think that's all. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the questions. And good luck today, guys, and see you tomorrow.